All right, volume of rectangular prisms and cylinders. We did surface area last week. And surface area, remember, measured or kept track of, or however you want to say it, of all of the area of all of the rectangles on the outside of a three-dimensional figure. So for volume, they're going to find out, we're going to find out, not what's on the outside, but what's on the inside. Okay? And a rectangular prism is pretty easy. The formula for volume of a rectangular prism is quite simply length times width times height. Nothing fancy. You've got a length, a width, and a height. Okay? And that's what you're going to multiply to find the volume. So let's try. You've got your calculators? All right. 451, number 1. There's a cube there. Cubes are rectangular prisms. And that number 1 has a length of what, Alex? And a width of, and a height of, okay? Your calculators at the ready. And Chris? $166.375. Unless they say something about rounding, we're not rounding. And according to the directions I have, it doesn't say anything yet about rounding. So we'll just leave it as is right now. And that's inches. Inches what? Squared measures area. Why cubed? Why the 3? Because we're doing volume, and we're finding out how much is going to be able to be held on the inside. So it's a cubic inch. What is a cubic inch? A square inch is a square that measures an inch on every side. So a cubic inch is going to be a cube that measures an inch on every side. And these cubes, okay, that you could pick up that are three-dimensional will tell us how many of those cubic inches that we could fit inside of that box, inside of that particular rectangular prism. If we were talking squared, we'd be talking flat squares like you see on the floor. Okay, throwing them inside this three-dimensional figure doesn't really tell us a whole lot. So that's why we use the cubes to measure the volume. Try number 2. Doesn't matter what you call length, width, height. Humor me though, what did you call length, width, height? Key, what was the length? Width, height, and you came up with 24 centimeters cubed. Okay. Any questions on rectangular prisms? Rectangular prisms, volume is about as simplistic as a formula can get. Okay. So cylinder. Volume of a cylinder. For the volume of a cylinder, we are going to use that formula, which will mean something in English, which may have a little bit more meaning to you if we can kind of simplify this in some way. What does this mean? Okay, this is the long way, but this is probably the clearer way for you. Now, my advice to you is going to be this. Use a calculator is okay with me, but I would have a pen or pencil and a piece of paper handy so that I can walk myself through the problem. Like if I look at number 7, all right, I can start the equation. 3.14, what is R? Number 7. So if R is 6, I'm going to go and put those 6's in for my R's. And then what's the height? 10. Okay, punch it in. Chris? 451. Caleb, what'd you get? 1,130.04? Are there any directions for rounding with the cylinders? Cubic unit means whole. Good. Try number 8. What's R? 4. What's the height? Can you do any of this in your head? You could. 16 if you wanted. What are we going to get? 352? Was there a point, anything or other?
Well, no, it was 351.68, and then rounded.
Awesome. So 352. And the label? Kennedy, good on that one? All right. Problem solved, hopefully. Now, you have not, do you have 8, 9? On the back of something?